G'day, it's Joel Rasmussen from Southern Cross Combat, and ahead of his fight at Beatdown 10, I'm talking to Mr. Jack James. Jack, I thank you very much for the time. How are we today, my friend?
Great, thanks, Joel. How you going?
I'm going well. I'm going well, and I'm very happy to be speaking to you. Both
Yeah.
in general, just it's awesome to meet you and finally get an interview with you. But
Yeah.
also, it's been a hot minute.
Yeah.
It has been a hot minute. How are we feeling? It's been about by the time you fight, I think it'll be 10 months.
10 months. Yeah. Yeah. I'm feeling great. Group feeling great. Obviously, got a fight in a week, so I'm feeling good. Feeling good. But yeah, it will be 10 months. I did have a fight or two lined up in the meantime, but just with some complications, they fell through. And then, in January, February, not too much happened. So we kind of had to wait until March again.
Has that been frustrating?
It definitely slows things down a bit. And when you're working with the time schedule, it's not always ideal, but it happens. It happens. Fights fall through, complications arise, but we're going to solve it and move on. And we're fighting in a week. So it's all good.
I was gonna say I don't mean to start the interview off on like a bummer of
nah,
like, ah, it's been shit. But
it's fine.
as you said, you have a fight in a week, so there is something
Yeah.
there's something happy we can talk about in a little bit.
I mean, it's only 10 extra months of training. It's not like it's 10 months and I was holidaying for 10 months.
Well, how has that been? What has it been for you? Because there was a camp in there, and
Yeah.
then Joseph Luciano gets taken to Bellator. So,
Yeah.
like, what has the 10 months been?
Well, it's been, yeah, back to back fight camps, really. It's about the longest fight camp in history, you could say. Long fight camp. I mean, if I was fighting him in August, yeah, it's been a good 6 month fight camp. So I'm definitely ready to go.
How has that been? I know for some people that could be an incredible drain.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I'm definitely ready to fight. I'm definitely ready to fight. Like obviously there's some ups and downs. You have some good weeks that need to maybe dial it back for a week or two to get a little bit of recovery in. But I mean, we just kind of just train all the time, whether you're sick, tired, sore, happy, sad, or mad. We just kind of always train. So training around our injuries and feelings.
Talking about injuries and sickness and such, during those 10 months, have you been like fully ready or like in a way, has it been good? Has there been anything you've been able to heal up in those 10 months?
Yeah, definitely healing up some nigglies, but also when you do a 10 month fight camp, you maybe also gain a couple of nigglies, but it's all good. Yeah, no, we're healed up. We're ready to go.
Although for a pro fighter, fighting like is your life, when you
Yep.
don't do something for nearly a year, like details can slip. You can forget maybe how much you enjoyed doing something or opposite, how much you hated doing something. To be a week out from a fight, the closest you've been to a fight in
Yeah.
a year, basically. Have you had any of those? Did you remember that sparring either sucked or you loved it more than you thought you did? Like, what have you been reminded of this camp?
I definitely get reminded that I love it when it gets hard. So like each week when it gets harder and you do say more sparring or a longer round or more fresher people, I just seem to love the challenge even more. Like at the start of fight camp, I feel like sometimes you're just coasting through and it's not that challenging. But by the end of the fight camp, I get reminded every time that things are hard, things are complicated, but it doesn't matter because you never stop. You never stop moving and you're always trying your best. But I suppose nah, you get reminded that fight camps can be pretty challenging. Yeah, but
Ha-
fun and rewarding.
How have the challenges been this camp?
Yeah, good. Good. I mean, nothing that you can't overcome. Just, I mean, when you're training for a fight and you and your training partner are both, trying to hurt each other in some sense, like you obviously get a few bumps and bruises, but yeah, nothing major. So
You,
it's
you,
good.
you seem to be in good nick, both through talking to me and how you're looking at the moment. You were training today. How was class this morning?
Yeah, good. Good. Just some light shadow boxing and that this morning. and then some rolls. Now we just finished up at lunchtime, so I'm still probably sweating, haven't cooled down properly. And then we got our MMA class tonight. So we'll still do some hard training tonight, tomorrow, and then obviously it's fight week. So things start to toe down. Although it always does throw me off that it's a Friday night, this fight. Throws off a lot of calculations about when you start waterload and all that.
Everything's out of
It's
whack.
only 24 hours, but I'm always going, wait, so what day do I have to start doing this if it's a Friday night? And yeah,
It's a big 24 hours when you're cutting
that's
weight.
throwing me off. That's throwing me off. But
How is it fighting on Beatdown? I've heard nothing but good things, but how does it compare outside of the day difference?
yeah, well, this is the first one on a Friday night.
Oh,
They've
okay.
always been on a Saturday. Although I have done a Friday night on Hex before, but Beatdown's so good to fight on. Damien's so good to work with. I fought 5 times now on Beatdown. There's never been a problem. The show runs back to back. You really couldn't complain. The weigh-ins always run smoothly. Everything's on time. Everything's out the back for you. No, he runs a very tight ship.
I've always heard good things, and talking about, you say that you fought on Beatdown 5 times. This is just my like perspective on it. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I feel like you're maybe one of like Beatdown's first guys. Like there are fighters who you can associate with,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
that's a Hex guy, that's an Eternal guy, and it's not purely in a way like you haven't fought on other shows,
yeah,
but it kind of feels like being a Queensland guy, they're a Queensland
yeah,
promotion. Do you feel like a Beatdown guy?
yeah. Yes, I do. I do feel like a beatdown guy, and I have fought on, yeah, Hex and Eternal as well, I suppose, the other two major ones. But I mean, in most of my fights with beatdown, um, I like Damien very much. I respect Damien very much as like a coach, mentor, friend, matchmaker, everything. So I feel like they're helping me as well. It's not like, oh, I'm just going to beat down because I'm a beat down guy and it's in Brisbane and all I have to do is fly to Brisbane. I feel like they help build me up, help make me, give me, I don't know, fights, confidence, like all those sorts of details like that. So yeah, I like beat down.
How how also totally expected answer there. I'd be blown away if you were like Beatdown isn't good and I don't like it. I would have
Yeah,
been blown away.
he's behind me like,
Got
yes.
a gun off camera.
Yeah.
Um, talking about Beatdown getting you fights, how difficult historically has it been for you to find matchups?
Well, I really don't do much about that or know too much about that. My coach kind of does it all. He'll just, we talk about, yeah, you're ready to fight. Yep, we're looking for a fight. And then he just kind of comes back and says, all right, well, here's the fight. So I don't have too much input to that. I don't think it's too hard to find me a match or anything like that. So I don't think it's been much of a problem for them, no.
That's fair. You are fighting for the inaugural welterweight beatdown title, but also just in general beatdown title.
Yeah.
I saw a clip after your last fight. You said, I will be fighting for a title next. I'll be putting pressure on Damien to
Yeah.
create a title. How did that
Yeah.
conversation go down? Because evidently it worked.
Well, I've been hassling him for a while, and he was always pretty like, no, 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 not for a while, not for a while, not for a while. But I mean, after 5 fights, let's do something fun, hey? Let's do something fun. So then it was the last beat down when I was going to fight, but it fell through. I still went down because we had other people on the corner that I was going to corner, and I just saw the belt sitting there. Wait, what's going on here? Is this for the next show? And then yeah, it looks pretty nice too. So
I was going to ask, how does it look?
yeah, it's good. I'm actually trying to remember exact. I remember looking at it going, "That's a nice looking belt." Some that maybe don't look as good as other ones. It's a good looking belt.
Was there like, after your last fight, was there a mentality change in terms of like, after that last fight, was that when you were like, I'm ready for the title now? Now I'm ready to like have a physical thing that cements me as one of the top guys.
Yeah, I do like thinking of it as maybe like a trophy as such that like you can hold it up and there's some sort of recognition behind it. so I do like the thought process of, putting it up on the wall of the gym, and when you're coaching students and little kids, like they can look and think it's pretty cool. So yeah, I do like the thought process and the recognition of it. But really we're just trying to be the best fighter and win fights.
Was
But
there was there something about that last fight that made you go like, now it is time to get kind of that recognition?
yeah, well it was awesome because it was in Townsville, first fight show in Townsville, and it was massive. Like it was awesome. It was like a huge venue. It was loud. So like after I finished that, I definitely did have like say a lot of feelings that yeah, I really want to say progress with fighting and sell out say stadiums down the road sort of thing, just because it was such an amazing feeling and hometown. I haven't fought in the hometown before, and it definitely like made me want to slingshot to the next level.
Is there a little bit of like, oh damn, I'm not fighting in the hometown again?
Not yet, but we'll get the belt and then we'll come back to Townsville and defend it, and it'll be massive.
Even bigger if that's possible.
If it's possible, we'll sell out the Cowboys stadium, I reckon.
If anyone could do it, I believe you could do it. Is
Yeah.
there any feeling of that, of like, you are Townsville's hope? You are the guy from Townsville.
We've got heaps of guys coming up in the gym now that are really starting to like it and pick things up, have amateur fights, and they'll be pro in a year or two. But the Townsville scene of MMA is not crazily big. Not crazily big. I mean, if you think about the last show that was in Townsville, there was probably really only our gym and another gym that say had people from Townsville. So for Damien to bring it up to Townsville, it's not probably not the easiest thing because he's kind of flying two people in for every fight instead of one. But no, MMA in Townsville's going to pick up. We've got a lot of good jiu-jitsu gyms and that now, and a lot of striking gyms. Soon, some of those gyms will be putting it together, and it'll pick up.
I see through the Instagram, there's your fight account, and then there's like a second coaching account. So that
Yeah.
being a coach is kind of inherently a leadership position.
Yep.
And then, as you mentioned there, you've got guys coming through the gym who are now coming through the amateurs.
Yep.
How do you feel about maybe being a bit of a leader in the gym in terms of from the fighting perspective? Obviously, you have coaches above you,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
amongst the fighters, you are like the kind of the captain of that group.
Yeah. I'd be the most experienced, you could say. I'd be the most experienced, but we all push each other along. There's no doubt those young hungry guys that are coming up that are amateurs are pointing their finger at me too, like making sure I do everything. So we're all one team and we all pick each other pick each other up and push each other along. But yeah, I definitely try to show some leadership and show them how it's done and pass on experience and feedback. And that's also not a really nice, rewarding feeling as well.
You're a you're a young guy who's carving his own path in his career. Is that like a weird feeling where you're like, damn, guys kind of look up to me in a weird way?
Yeah, I definitely forget that sometimes because I just feel like I'm 100% like a team member and we're all exactly equal, which we are really, but like obviously I've had a bit more experience or maybe if we're training, whatever I say goes is a little bit in those sorts of things doing rounds. But I definitely feel like, yeah, we're all one team and we are still all even as such.
Um, Talking about this upcoming fight, you were fighting Blood Diamond for the
Yeah.
inaugural title. How did Blood Diamond come your way? You mentioned earlier you kind of leave it up to coaches to get matched
Yeah.
up. How did the name come your way?
Well, we'll just yeah, looking for a fight, and coach was like, "Oh, you want to fight um Blood Diamond?" I thought, "Geez, I thought that it can't be Blood. I've seen that Blood Diamond." I was like, "It can't be him." And I thought, "Yeah, yeah, who Blood Diamond?" And then yeah, he said, "Yeah, yeah, that Blood Diamond." I was like, "Geez, yeah, that'd be cool." And then it was pretty much, I think the next day it was, I don't know, we signed the contract that thing and it was posted on Instagram. I was like, well, that was really fast. Yeah. It just it was very fast. Yeah.
What do you make of Blood Diamond as a fighter?
Yeah, he's pretty crazy fight, I would say, when I was watching his fights. He's doing some very unorthodox things, which are very cool and very tricky. So I'm gonna have to stay sharp and keep my hands up. But yeah, he definitely has a few tricks up his sleeve, and he's an experienced guy, and he'll be game when he gets in there and that door shuts.
When anyone wins a title, they get their name stamped on it, like in general. But this is the start of this title's lineage. You can be the first man to hold it.
Yep.
To be the first man to possibly hold this title against a guy who used to be in the UFC, what kind of
Yeah.
does that mean to you?
Oh, it'll mean so much. Yeah. It just feels like so much has been put into this. Like when you think about problems that arise in life, problems that are with your body, like injuries and all that sort of thing, and everything you push through, I feel like it'll just mean so much at the end of the night when you're standing there with the belt and first champion. And I think it's going to be awesome for Beatdown Promotions as well.
Where do you feel it puts you in the grand scheme of the welterweight division in Australia?
Oh, it definitely puts me up there. I think if I get the beatdown belt, what's it, March, defend the beatdown belt in 2 to 3 months or so, I definitely need, I know I need another 2 to 3 fights before I say went international or anything like that. So maybe another couple of fights on beatdown, a few fights on beatdown. If something else, I won the beatdown belt, defended it a couple of times, and something cool came up with Hex or Eternal or something, we wouldn't be against that as long as beatdown would would be all right with that. But I definitely know that I still need like another 2 to 3 wins to be at the top of the welterweight division in Australia.
The fight is coming up. We are a week today, as time of recording, is exactly a week.
Yeah.
What does fight week look like for you? What does a week look like for you now?
Yeah, fight week. So we'll still train tonight, like decently hard as such, like MMA stuff. We'll do our final MMA rounds tomorrow. And then fight week, we're just drilling, training, drinking 9 liters of water, eating not too many carbs, and yeah, starting a water load and lose weight for that 3 to 4 day period. We fly down to Brisbane early Thursday, and then weigh-ins are at 1 p.m. And then it's pretty much mandatory to go across the road to the sushi train. It's part of the rules.
It's part of the pre-fight ritual.
Yeah, it is. It's the rules.
Uh, how is a bad weight cut for you? How much is it? Roughly.
No, it's the same as normal. Same
Nothing
as
too bad.
yeah, and I'll probably be like 95 kilos or so when I get in there.
When last year, the last fight you had prior to this one,
Yeah.
won fight of the year honors from Beatdown Promotions. How much does that mean to you?
Well, I like it. Shows that have some heart and some fighting desire, but I would definitely rather not get knocked down in a fight to come back to win. I'd definitely probably rather performance of the year than like comeback of the year. But I mean, I'll take it. I'll
Is it
take.
is there something how do you feel about that fight being the last fight prior to the 10-month gap?
Oh, um, yeah, good. I mean, it shows I'll never give up.
I was
Shows I'll
thinking
never give
that
up.
because in a way, like having like being like I am super tough is a good note to take a break on,
Yeah,
rather
yeah.
than like just a fine fight.
Nah, yeah, it definitely builds confidence in that. But you also don't want to be known as the tough guy that, just, oh, you can beat him up and he comes back. You want to be known as the guy that's just too good, and that doesn't get hit. But I think I mean, you need all those sorts of qualities if you want to be a top fighter. You need to be the best. You need to have heart. You need to be strong, fast, technical, fit, everything. So I think that showcases one of those qualities. And then this fight, hopefully, I'll showcase just a real technical ability.
Is that what you're expecting? A real like technical fight?
Yeah, well, I think Blood Diamond will be very technical, but I don't think he'll be afraid to like go crazy to put it on me to either try to stress me out or stress test me, you could call it. So I definitely think he'll do some crazy jumping, spinning stuff to try to put me on my heels and catch me off guard. But I'll be nice and technical, yes.
Is it difficult to prep with for a guy who you're like, I think part of his game will be unpredictable?
Yeah, we definitely have a couple of guys that swing more to that unpredictable side, but I mean, someone like that would be pretty hard to get the perfect partner. But I mean, we train for that anyway. You get people taller, you get people shorter, people bigger, people smaller, people that are real tight, people that are going to be southpaw and real crazy. He's always switching stances and things like that. So we've prepared for it all. We've got southpaws, orthodox, people with low hands, people with high hands. Just got to be ready for anything. He might come out and shoot a big double leg.
Anything's possible.
He might. And again, I've been practicing my sprawls, so we'll be ready.
We talked earlier about last fight being at home. This fight, same state, not home, but same state.
It nearly
Uh,
feels like home, Brizzy.
will a lot of people gonna fly out for you? Who kind of travels to watch you fight?
Yeah, we have a bunch. Yeah, we have a bunch. Like we think of at least 10 people flying down from the gym, and there'd be more. And then I got parents, family. Yeah, there'd be, oh, yeah, fair few flying down. I don't know how many use my name at checkout when they're buying tickets, which slightly makes me a little bit mad, but it's all right. I'll get a photo with them all at the end.
What code should the people watching use? Because they just released more tickets. If people are looking for tickets,
Yeah.
what code should they
Oh,
use?
Jack James or Kobe Woodlynch. Jack
Those are your
James,
two.
Kobe Woodlynch from the gym. Yeah, me and Kobe fighting from the gym.
Those will be in the description below this.
Woo!
Talking about like the family aspect. So the family can stand watching you fight. Some people I know, their family can't watch, their parents can't be there.
Dad's been to every fight except one, and Mum's been to most of them. Yeah, no, they come along most of the time. Yep.
They're okay with it.
Oh, they definitely
Okay,
go now.
I
Yeah,
suppose.
they're there to support. They're there to support. Oh, no, they no, I imagine they'd be sitting there absolute nervous, shaking like anything. But yeah, I mean, they support me and my aspirations, so it's the main thing.
So all you could ask, I suppose.
Yeah.
Jack James, I thank you so much for the time. I feel like it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
It's been a while waiting for you to fight for this belt. I'm glad you're getting the opportunity. Best
Thank
of
you.
luck in the fight. Safe travels, and I thank you so much for the time.
Thanks, Joel. See you, everyone.